Ever looked up at a skyscraper under construction and wondered, how on earth did they get that massive steel beam up there?
Yeah.
Well, today's deep dive is all about the skilled folks who make that happen.
Right.
Riggers.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a stack of insights from RoleCatcher about this career path, and let me tell you,
Yep.
it's way more fascinating than I ever imagined.
You're spot on. It's not just about muscle,
Yeah.
though that helps. What's fascinating here is the
Yeah.
sheer variety of skills needed to excel as a rigger. It's
Right.
like a blend of physics engineering
Yeah.
and, get this, customer service all rolled into one.
Okay, customer service,
Yeah.
do tell.
Picture this.
Okay.
You're a rigger tasked with rigging a complex stage for a high-profile concert. The event planner is understandably nervous about safety and logistics.
Yeah.
You need to not only execute the rigging flawlessly, but also reassure them, explaining the process clearly and calmly.
Right.
Building trust is a big part of the job.
Wow, I never would have thought about that aspect.
Yeah.
It makes sense, though. You're dealing with high-stakes situations and need to inspire confidence.
Right.
Whether it's a construction foreman
Yeah.
or a nervous event planner, RoleCatcher really seems to emphasize that it's not just about knowing how to operate a crane, it's about understanding the entire ecosystem of a project.
Precisely. And that's where the career progression gets interesting.
Okay.
You might start as an entry-level rigger,
Right.
learning the ropes.
Literally.
Literally. Assisting with basic lifts using cranes or those towering structures you see at construction sites, derricks.
Yeah.
Think of it like an apprenticeship.
So it's about getting your hands dirty and learning from the ground up.
Absolutely. But even at this entry level, certifications like the basic rigging certification RoleCatcher mentioned
Right.
can give you a competitive edge.
Okay.
It shows dedication to safety and a solid understanding of the fundamentals.
Right. Got to have those credentials.
Yeah.
And what happens as you gain more experience? Do you get to call the shots eventually?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could move up to a junior rigger position where you'd have more autonomy.
Okay.
Think independently attaching and detaching loads,
Right.
maybe even supervising less experienced riggers.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's example, junior rigger already had an advanced rigging certification,
Mm-hmm.
which gets into some really specific techniques like using load calculation software.
Hold on. Load calculation software.
Yep.
I'm picturing something straight out of a sci-fi movie with graphs and calculations for how much weight a structure can handle.
Right.
Tell me more about that.
It's not as flashy as Hollywood might depict,
No.
but it's every bit as crucial.
Okay.
This software helps riggers determine the safe working load limits for different rigging configurations.
Mhm.
You input the specifics of the lift, the weight of the load, the angles of the slings, even the type of crane being used.
Right.
And the software crunches the numbers to ensure you're operating within safe parameters.
That's wild. It sounds like there's this whole world of technical expertise that most people don't even realize goes into rigging.
Absolutely. And as you progress to more senior positions, like the senior rigger,
Okay.
that technical knowledge becomes even more critical.
Right.
These are the folks who are not just lifting objects, but designing complex rigging plans,
Mm-hmm.
overseeing entire operations,
Out?
and mentoring the next generation of riggers.
Wow.
Think of them as the conductors of an orchestra,
Yeah.
making sure every instrument, or in this case, every piece of equipment and personnel, is working in perfect harmony.
And like a conductor, they probably need a deep understanding of how all the parts work together.
Yes.
So it's not just about having the muscle to lift, it's about having the mind to strategize and orchestrate, right?
Exactly. And that's something that really stood out to me in RoleCatcher's analysis. The ideal rigger possesses this unique blend of physical capability,
Right.
technical proficiency,
Mm-hmm.
and those all-important soft skills.
Okay.
Communication, problem-solving, leadership.
Okay, I'm sensing a but coming. There's got to be more to it than just being a jack of all trades, right?
Yeah.
What about the day-to-day realities, the work environments?
Yeah.
What are we looking at there?
Construction sites.
Construction is definitely a big one.
Right.
But you'd be surprised by the sheer range of places where riggers are needed.
Okay.
Think manufacturing facilities,
Okay.
where those gigantic machines need to be placed with pinpoint accuracy.
Oh, right. I remember touring a factory once, and I was blown away by the scale of the equipment.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what it takes to move something like that into place.
It's a delicate dance of planning and precision.
Wow.
And speaking of delicate,
Okay.
the energy sector is another surprising employer of riggers.
Okay.
We're talking about oil rigs, refineries, Even wind turbine
Yeah.
farms?
Lowering massive blades into place on a wind turbine.
Wow.
That's our rigger friends in action.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm getting a whole new appreciation for this career path.
Yeah.
Way more diverse than I initially thought.
Right.
So we've got construction, we've got manufacturing, energy.
Yeah.
What else? RoleCatcher mentioned something about the entertainment industry.
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Ever been to a concert with a massive stage setup, intricate lighting, and those jumbotrons that seem to defy gravity?
Who hasn't? Concerts are my jam.
Well, behind every epic concert experience
Yeah.
is a team of skilled riggers working their magic.
Wow.
They're the ones hoisting those speakers, hanging those lights, and making sure the whole spectacle comes together safely and flawlessly.
That's so cool. I'll never look at a concert stage the same way again.
Right.
It's like a hidden world of rigging wizardry happening behind the scenes.
Exactly. And the best part is,
Yeah.
depending on your interests,
Okay.
you can specialize.
Oh.
RoleCatcher talked about becoming a mechanical rigging expert,
Right.
someone who really gets into the nuts and bolts of complex machinery.
Okay.
Or maybe your passion lies in those customer service skills we talked about,
Right.
working directly with clients to bring their vision to life.
I'm starting to see why RoleCatcher dedicated a whole section to those personal skills.
Yes,
They really do seem to underpin the entire career path.
absolutely.
Okay, so we've established that rigging is anything but a one-size-fits-all career.
Right.
But let's get real for a second.
Okay.
What about the downsides?
Yeah.
RoleCatcher didn't shy away from the challenges. What are some of the less glamorous aspects of the job?
Well, for starters, let's address the elephant, or rather the crane,
Yeah.
in the room.
Right.
It's physically demanding work.
Yeah.
You're on your feet, lifting, pulling, securing, often at heights,
Right.
sometimes in cramped spaces,
Yeah.
and occasionally battling the elements.
Sure.
It takes stamina and a certain level of physical fitness.
Okay, so you're not just pushing buttons on a computer all day.
No.
Makes sense. What else?
The other big one is the inherent risk factor.
Right.
You're dealing with heavy machinery,
Yeah.
working at heights,
Mhm.
sometimes in unpredictable environments.
Right.
Safety is paramount.
Sure.
And even with strict protocols, there's always an element of risk.
It's that calculated risk that probably gets the adrenaline pumping for some people.
Yeah,
But it's definitely not a job for the faint of heart.
you got that right.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the constant need to stay updated.
Right.
Safety regulations change, new equipment emerges, and best practices evolve. A good rigger is committed to lifelong learning.
So it's a field that demands both physical and mental agility.
Absolutely.
That's fascinating. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say someone listening is hooked.
Okay.
They're ready to trade in their desk job for a hard hat and a career in rigging. What's the first step?
Okay.
RoleCatchers seem to have some concrete advice on that front.
Absolutely. While a college degree isn't always required, it's
Yeah.
becoming increasingly valuable,
Good.
especially as technology plays a larger role in the field.
Right.
But the real key,
Yeah.
according to RoleCatcher, is hands-on experience. Apprenticeships are the gold standard.
So it's about learning the ropes, quite literally, from experienced riggers.
Precisely. It's where you gain that invaluable on-the-job training,
Right.
learn to work as part of a team,
Mm-hmm.
and get a feel for the real-world challenges and rewards of the job.
Right.
And let's not forget those certifications we talked about earlier,
okay.
like the basic and advanced rigging certifications.
Yeah.
They're not just pieces of paper.
Right.
They demonstrate a commitment to safety and a mastery of essential skills.
Right. Like a stamp of approval from the rigging gods. They prove, your stuff.
Exactly. And networking is huge in this field.
Okay.
Attending industry events, connecting with other riggers, joining professional organizations.
Right.
These are all great ways to build relationships, learn from others, and potentially even find job opportunities.
So it's not just what you know,
Mm-hmm.
but who you know as well.
Right.
It's about building a network of support and knowledge.
Yeah.
What I'm getting from RoleCatcher,
Yeah.
from our conversation,
Yeah.
is that a successful rigger isn't just one thing.
Right.
They're a blend of physical strength, technical know-how, and those all-important people skills.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Right.
It's a career that rewards hard work, dedication, and a willingness to constantly learn and adapt.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
The skills, the progression, the good, the challenging.
Right.
But there's one big looming question that we haven't tackled yet.
Okay.
One that's particularly relevant in today's rapidly changing technological landscape.
Right.
And It all circles back to something RoleCatcher touched upon,
Okay.
the rise of AI.
Now, that's a topic that could have its own deep dive.
Yeah.
What specifically piqued your interest?
Well, we talked about AI in the context of recruitment,
Right.
but what about its potential impact on the actual work of a rigger?
Yeah.
Could we see robots taking over those heavy lifts in the future?
Yeah.
Is this the dawn of the robot rigger?
It's a question
Yeah.
that's got a lot of folks in the skilled trades, not just rigging,
Yeah.
a little nervous,
Right.
and rightfully so.
Yeah.
But instead of framing it as a
Okay.
robots versus humans scenario,
Yeah.
let's think about it more as a potential collaboration.
Okay. I like where you're going with this. So
Yeah.
more like robots to the rescue, taking over some of those back-breaking tasks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine this.
Okay.
A robotic arm
Right.
guided by AI
Okay.
and equipped with sensors far more precise than any human eye,
Wow.
maneuvering a massive steel beam into place on a skyscraper.
Right.
It could work tirelessly,
Yeah.
unfazed by heights or hazardous conditions.
I can see the appeal from a safety standpoint,
Yeah.
for sure, but where does that leave the human rigger in this picture
Right.
out of a job?
Not so fast.
Okay.
This is where the evolution of the role comes in.
Okay.
While AI might handle the heavy lifting, literally,
Right.
someone still needs to program those robots,
Okay.
interpret the data they collect,
Right.
and oversee the entire operation.
So it becomes less about brawn and more about brains.
Exactly. The rigor of the future might be just as comfortable with a tablet as they are with a wrench.
Wow.
They'll need to understand AI systems, analyze data, troubleshoot technical glitches, essentially becoming a hybrid of a skilled tradesperson and a tech specialist.
Wow, that's quite a shift.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder
Yeah.
what kind of training will be needed.
Right.
Will we see robotics for riggers courses popping up?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
And that's actually something RoleCatcher hinted at,
Yeah.
the importance of adaptability and continuous learning in this field.
Right.
As technology evolves,
Right.
so too will the skills needed to thrive.
So if you're someone who loves the idea of working with your hands, but also has an interest in tech,
Right.
this could be the perfect storm.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And there's another layer to this.
Yeah.
Remember those soft skills we discussed?
Yeah.
Communication, problem solving, leadership.
Right.
Those become even more critical in a future where humans and robots are working side by side.
Because you're not just managing equipment.
Right.
You're managing this whole complex interaction between humans and machines.
Precisely. And let's not forget,
Yeah.
technology is always changing.
Right.
What seems cutting edge today might be outdated tomorrow.
Right.
The riggers who thrive in this evolving landscape will be the ones who embrace lifelong learning,
Right.
always curious,
Yeah.
always adapting.
So what I'm hearing is this isn't the end of the rigor.
Right.
It's more like a transformation, a
Yeah.
chance to blend traditional skills with cutting-edge tech.
Right.
It's almost like becoming a rigger of the future means becoming a bit of a futurist yourself.
Now you're getting it.
Right.
It's about seeing the potential,
Okay.
not just the disruption.
Well, there you have it, folks. A deep dive into the world of riggers. From those towering cranes to the potential of AI-powered robotic arms.
Yeah.
It's a career path that demands strength, smarts, and a willingness to embrace the unexpected.
It really does.
Who knows? Maybe one of you listening will be the ones programming those robots or designing the next generation of rigging tech.
That's right.
Until next time, keep those minds curious and those hard hats handy.